Thank you, and good evening. Muy buenas noches. Thank you so much to my dear friend, Archbishop, for opening up this house of God with these children of God here tonight. And to our friends in the interfaith community who have joined us. I started today in a synagogue. I end tonight in a church. Tomorrow I'm visiting a mosque. And I think people turn to God at moments like this. We turn to God at moments like this because for all of us, the divisions and the feelings of this past week and for the months that preceded them have in many ways torn us apart. Families and communities, cities and even this country. But we seek in these moments not to turn further against each other, but to find a way to find each other. Each of us who are children of God, who believe that we are made in God's image, know the holiness that is inside each one of us. And I pray for this country and for its leaders, all of its leaders, that they may open their hearts to what they can see today on the streets of this city, around this country, and the voices that are speaking up and speaking out. I want, as leader of this city of angels, for us to embody that we are, La Ciudad de Los Ángeles. We are a place where people come from every walk of life, every continent on the face of the earth. We embody every color of skin. We're like the pilgrims on the walls of this cathedral, marching forward to find a better life for each other. I stand before you as your mayor, but also as the grandchild of immigrants who crossed oceans and who crossed rivers to come here. I think about my grandfather Salvador, my grandmother Juanita, who came here because this represented a place of peace and of opportunity. And I think about the opportunities that have been given to all of us, that we have worked hard, immigrants and children and grandchildren of immigrants, those who came willingly and even those who came enslaved. We arrived here in this holy place in order to find something better. It's not usual that we talk about politics in church, but I will say just one brief thing, that it is important for us to remember that our participation in this nation isn't defined by any one day. The French philosopher Ernst Renan once wrote that the nation is a daily plebiscite. And what he meant is we are defined by what we do each and every day. In the places where we pray, in the places where we work. What is less important is who is in the White House than what is in our house, where we live, and in this house of worship and the many houses of worship. Pero tenemos unas palabras por la comunidad inmigrante, la comunidad latina, asiática, nuestros niños que tienen mucho miedo en este punto. There are so many of our children, our immigrant communities, and our Latino, Asian, and other communities that are living tonight with such fear. I had to explain to my 4-year-old daughter what happened this week, and for her to understand that this is her country too. As a 4-year-old Latina, what it means for her to be able to claim this space in this place. And I want to tell all of the residents of this city, do not be afraid, be brave. No tengan miedo, los residentes de Los Ángeles. Protegeremos todos los residentes de esta ciudad y los valores de esta ciudad y esta nación. Those aren't just values that are given to us because we are part of the United States. Our dignity is given to us by God, that each one of us can and must recognize that in each one of us, no matter how and where we worship God, no matter whom we love, no matter what the color of our skin or our age or gender, that these are holy things given to us. And I love to see the folks that are on the street today, I'll be honest with you, because it is a new generation who are expressing themselves peacefully on our streets. As I've said as a side note, it's never good to play on the freeway, and please don't go on the freeway. But in the streets, and respect people's property, but where so many people have said, I was so proud of the City of Angels, a place where pobladores came here in 1781, 12 years after a group of Franciscans. It was fitting the song we started with, because it was a group of Franciscans who came to the intersection of where the Arroyo Seco and the Los Angeles rivers meet. And if you read Father Juan Crespi's journal of that day, he wrote about the 3 earthquakes that visited them as they were here. And they took communion in that river, and they christened it El Río de Nuestra Señora, la Reina de los Ángeles de Porciúncula, named after the small portion of land next to St. Francis's Church in Assisi, a place when in the tumult of his days he went to find his peace and to find his direction. And we were given that name to the river and then El Pueblo shortly thereafter. Somos el pueblo. Somos esta ciudad. Somos esta nación. Y el poder y el espíritu de esta nación existe en nuestras manos. We are the city. We are the town. We still live in a democracy. And in a democracy where we believe in God, that democracy should reflect our divinity. Not the hate and not the division, but the hope. I just want to conclude by saying I'm so proud to live in this city of angels, a place where voters stood up to say we should get our brothers and sisters off the street, and we should produce middle-class jobs and cut our traffic, and do those things that are 99% of the space where we live. I hope that President-elect Trump will hear our prayers. Will hear our feelings, not just in this city, but around this country. And will seek to understand, and I take him at his word, if he seeks to unify, the time is now, to unify our country, to bring us together, to not tear families apart, to not have children cowering in fear, but for us to fulfill our destinies as God's children. May God bless this city of angels. May God bless each and every one of you. May God bless the United States of America and everyone in this world. Thank you.